Fear can feel like an uninvited guest that sneaks into your mind, settling into the quiet corners of your consciousness and whispering doubts, insecurities, and worries. It has a way of making you question your worth, your abilities, and even your right to pursue happiness or success. But understand this: fear does not own you. It is a fleeting emotion, a temporary state of mind that you have the power to confront, challenge, and ultimately overcome. Recognizing this truth is the first step toward reclaiming your life from the grip of fear. You are more than your fears. You are the master of your destiny, and your response to fear defines your journey. Fear often begins with the stories you tell yourself. It's rooted in the narratives of what if and if only. You might worry about failure, rejection, or the unknown. These thoughts spiral, amplifying your anxiety and making the obstacle seem insurmountable. But these stories are just that, stories. They are not realities. They're projections of your mind, fueled by past experiences, societal conditioning, or the voice of doubt inside your head. When you begin to recognize that fear is often based on fiction, you take the first step toward disarming its power. Your mind is a powerful tool, capable of conjuring fears, but it is equally capable of creating hope, courage, and resilience. By shifting your focus from what could go wrong to what could go right, you begin to weaken fear's hold over you. Understanding the nature of fear is crucial. Fear is a survival mechanism, an ancient instinct designed to protect you from danger. It triggers a cascade of physiological responses. Your heart races, your palms sweat, your senses sharpen, all in preparation to fight or flee. However, in modern life, many of the fears you face are not life-threatening, but are instead threats to your comfort, your self-esteem, or your perceived safety. Recognizing the distinction helps you realize that many of your fears are exaggerated or unfounded. Not every risk is worth avoiding, and not every fear is justified. When you analyze your fears objectively, you can determine which ones are legitimate warnings and which are illusions. One of the most powerful tools against fear is awareness. When fear arises, instead of reacting impulsively, pause and observe it. Notice where you feel it in your body. Is it a tightness in your chest? A flutter in your stomach? A sense of heaviness in your limbs? Name the fear, "I am afraid of failure," or "I fear rejection." Naming it diminishes its power because it takes it out of the realm of the unconscious and into consciousness. This act of acknowledgement creates space for rational thought and emotional regulation. It allows you to choose your response rather than being driven by automatic reactions. You must also challenge the stories your mind tells you. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have that this fear is justified? What is the worst-case scenario? How likely is it to happen? What can I do to prepare or mitigate it? Often, you'll find that the worst-case scenario is either unlikely or manageable. And even if it occurs, it is not the end of the world. Most fears are based on worst-case scenarios that are highly improbable or that you can handle with resilience and resourcefulness. Reframing your perspective shifts the narrative from one of catastrophe to one of opportunity. Instead of, "If I fail, I am a failure," think, "If I fail, I will learn and grow stronger." Viewing failure as part of growth diminishes its power to paralyze you. Building resilience is essential. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to face adversity with courage and perseverance. Every time you confront a fear and move through it, you strengthen your resilience. It's like a muscle that grows stronger with use. Start small. Face minor fears first. Speak up in a meeting. Try a new activity. Reach out to someone you admire. Each small victory builds confidence and diminishes the influence of fear. Over time, what once seemed terrifying becomes manageable. and your capacity to face larger fears expands. Remember, resilience is not about avoiding fear, but learning to live with it, to carry it lightly, and to act despite it. Visualization is a powerful technique to reprogram your mind. Close your eyes and imagine yourself facing your fear confidently. Visualize every detail, the environment, your feelings, your actions. Imagine succeeding, feeling proud and empowered. This mental rehearsal primes your brain for real-life encounters, reducing anxiety and increasing your sense of control. The more vividly you visualize success, the more your subconscious begins to accept it as possible. This practice shifts your focus from what could go wrong to what you want to happen, reinforcing positive expectations and diminishing fear's influence. Another vital aspect is embracing discomfort. Growth and change often require stepping outside your comfort zone. Fear is a natural response to unfamiliarity, but it is also a sign that you are stretching your boundaries. Instead of avoiding discomfort, lean into it. Recognize that fear is a sign of progress. Each time you challenge yourself, you expand your capabilities and increase your resilience. Remember, no one has ever achieved greatness by staying within their comfort zone. The most rewarding experiences often lie just beyond your fears. By embracing discomfort, you demonstrate courage and reinforce the truth that fear does not own you. You own your choices. Developing a mindset of self-compassion is also essential. Be kind to yourself when fears arise. Understand that fear is a normal part of the human experience. Instead of criticizing yourself or feeling ashamed, acknowledge your feelings with kindness and patience. Celebrate your bravery in facing fears, no matter how small the step. Self-compassion nurtures a positive self-image and reduces the tendency to ruminate on perceived shortcomings or failures. It empowers you to keep moving forward with gentle persistence. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is another powerful strategy. Seek out individuals who inspire courage, resilience, and optimism. Their stories, encouragement, and support can bolster your confidence. Avoid those who feed your fears or reinforce negative beliefs. Instead, cultivate a community that uplifts and empowers you. Read stories of people who have faced and overcome fears, learn from their experiences, and let their journeys remind you that fear is conquerable. Practicing mindfulness and meditation can help you stay grounded in the present moment. Fear often arises from worries about the future or ruminations about the past. Mindfulness teaches you to observe your thoughts without judgment and to anchor yourself in the here and now. When you are fully present, the power of fear diminishes because it loses its foothold in your mind. Regular meditation cultivates clarity, calmness, and resilience, enabling you to respond to fears with wisdom, rather than react impulsively. Journaling is a valuable tool for processing fears. Write down what you are afraid of, why you think you feel that way, and how you might address it. Sometimes, putting fears on paper makes them less intimidating and reveals solutions you hadn't considered. Journaling also allows you to track your progress over time, celebrate victories, and recognize patterns that may contribute to your fears. It's a personal conversation with yourself that fosters understanding and empowerment. Setting realistic goals and creating action plans is crucial. Break down your fears into manageable steps. If the thought of speaking in public terrifies you, start by practicing in front of a mirror, then progress to small groups, and eventually larger audiences. Each step builds confidence and reduces anxiety. Celebrate each milestone, acknowledging your courage and resilience. Remember, progress is not always linear. Setbacks are part of the process. When they occur, View them as opportunities to learn rather than failures. Developing a daily routine that includes affirmations and positive self-talk reinforces your belief in your ability to overcome fear. Affirmations like, "I am capable," "I face my fears with courage," or "Fear does not own me," reinforce your inner strength. Repeat them regularly, especially when fear arises. Over time, these affirmations become internal truths that bolster your confidence and diminish the voice of doubt. Practicing gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack or fear to what you have and appreciate. Gratitude cultivates a positive outlook and reduces anxiety. When fear creeps in, take a moment to identify things you are grateful for: your health, relationships, talents, opportunities. This shift in perspective reminds you that despite fears, your life is rich with value and possibility. Gratitude acts as a counterbalance to fear, helping you maintain perspective and resilience. Remember that failure and fear are intertwined. Every successful person has faced rejection, setbacks, and moments of doubt. These experiences are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for growth. Embrace the idea that mistakes are lessons in disguise. When you reframe failure as a vital part of your journey, fear of failure diminishes. You become more willing to take risks, knowing that even if you stumble, you will get back up stronger and wiser. Practicing patience is vital. Overcoming deep-seated fears doesn't happen overnight. It is a gradual process that requires persistence and self-understanding. Celebrate small victories along the way, and be gentle with yourself during setbacks. Trust that your efforts are building a resilient, fearless version of yourself. With time, courage replaces fear, and confidence becomes your default state. Visualize your ideal self, confident, fearless, resilient, and act in alignment with that vision. Every decision, every action reinforces the person you are becoming. As you consistently choose courage over avoidance, fear loses its power. Your actions create new neural pathways in your brain, replacing old patterns of fear with habits of bravery. Over time, you will find that fear no longer owns you. Instead, you own your courage. Finally, remind yourself daily that fear is a visitor, not a resident. It may come knocking, but you have the power to answer differently. You can choose to listen to its voice or to stand firm in your truth. You are inherently brave, capable, and resilient. The more you practice facing fears, the more you realize that they are illusions, temporary shadows that fade in the light of your inner strength. Fear may whisper, but it does not own you. Your true essence is rooted in courage, hope, and limitless potential. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and step forward knowing that you are the author of your story, not fear.